You know,
Okay.
most
That's
of these
totally
other
unacceptable. That's totally unacceptable. We're not allowed to do that. I mean, if you press the record button, I'm totally going to have a fit, man. I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. So I guess we're going to have to do it, though.
now, a lot of these guys are gonna come back and watch it when they get home.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
a
we
lot of them
probably
just
we
work.
probably have like half the class right now, and like the other half is probably like working right now. We usually
Okay.
do the party. We usually do the meetings a little bit late, so that's why we're recording it, so they could go
Okay.
back later and rewatch it.
But I was telling Eric, bro, because Eric gets up around five in the morning to go cycling, bro. And I was telling him, I'm like, you know, you get up at 3:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
start working out.
It's crazy,
You know, he
man.
literally gets up at 3:30 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
I have trouble getting up at 5 a.m., but I get it done, man.
Yeah. Well, I think once you get into that routine, I mean, and you go to sleep, sometimes I'm waking up at like 1:30 and I'm like, oh, God damn, I still got another 2 hours. I was like, they put this thing back down. I try to knock myself back out for a couple more. That some days are like that, but when you get into that routine, it feels good. You wake up, it's like 3:30, it's dark. You get a bunch of stuff done. You've worked out, taken your cold shower, you've done journaling and stuff. You've done your workout, and it's like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and the sun is barely coming out. And I'm like, man, what's going on?
Yeah. What time do you go to
12
bed,
o'clock.
man? What time do you go to bed? What time do you go to bed?
Usually around anywhere from like 8:30 to like 10:30.
Oh, that's
Guys,
not bad.
guys, whoever's on the call, I don't want to interrupt you. Sorry. Whoever's on the call, guys, I want this to be as interactive as possible. So whoever's on the call, if you can turn on your cameras, guys. If you could please turn on your cameras, because I'm pretty sure by the time Kabir's done with this call, you guys are going to have a lot of questions for him. So to make this as interactive as possible, guys, please turn on your cameras. Appreciate you guys.
And
this
Steven,
is just for your own good. That way he gets a sense of who he's talking to. And you guys are going to get a ton of value from this guy, bro. Kabir's taught me a lot in sales and marketing. I mean, the guy's a fucking beast. So, this guy's made over 7 figures in sales, in marketing. He's a fucking beast of a marketer. So I want you guys to tap in, bro. I mean, this guy is the real deal. You know what I mean? He's the real deal when it comes to sales. Kabir, I mean, I know you charge clients for your marketing services. I know you've closed deals as big as like when clients are paying you maybe $30K a month, $20K a month. And at one point that was pretty normal for you, right?
100%.
Yeah. So I know Kabir, like back in the day, bro, I met Kabir like 2017. And about a year after I met him, he had closed a client for like $30K a month. That was with him for like over like probably a couple of years. So, I mean, I know for you guys thinking like, damn, $30K a month is a lot to charge somebody. But I mean, you guys, if the value's there, you guys can be like Kabir, and have multiple clients that are paying you $30K, $15K, $10K. And I mean, I've seen it, bro. Kabir's a real deal. He's sitting in his house right now. Kabir owns that house. He drives a Mercedes. The guy's the real deal, guys. You know what I'm saying? Most of you guys are looking at him, and I know he looks like he's Rasta, right? But he's actually, our friend Kabir is actually, he's Indian, bro. His parents are from India, but he was born and raised here in Southern California, like a lot of us are. And he's as Mexican as it gets without being Mexican. Trust me, he's as Mexican as it gets without being Mexican. But just letting you guys know, bro, if you guys don't have your notepads out, take your notepads out, write down any questions you guys are going to have for this call. Because, I mean, this is a guy who's probably done multiple 6 figures in sale in a year and probably close to the 7 figures. So, you guys that are asking, how do I sell, ceramic coatings for $900 to $1,000 or vinyl wraps or PPF and clear bra, you guys are going to be asking clients, to spend $3,000, $4,000 up front with you guys, or after the job's done, so learn from somebody who's already asked the client, hey, my price is $30,000 a month. You know what I mean? Without flinching. And this is the guy who has done that, guys. So I just want to introduce you guys to Kabir Kalan. Kabir, if you could, he'll probably type his IG in here somewhere, or if you want to share that with them. Yeah, that's your introduction, man. I'm gonna let you take it from here, Kabir.
Man, I'm glad that was recorded because I mean that kind of intro right there. I need to just take that and start sending it to people and say, man, that's who I am, right? Wow. I appreciate that, man. That's
I just let you guys know another thing
info.
real quick is like, guys, Kabir's like daily routine is insane. Like I know as detailers, I know we're getting up. Some of us are getting up at like 5 in the morning, 5:30, and we think that's early. But this guy gets up every day at 3 in the morning to work out. He's in the gym by about 3:30 in the morning, and he's doing like cold showers, like things that are very uncomfortable, guys, to do. And he has money. He's in his own house right now in Vegas right now. But this guy's hungry, bro. So definitely take notes, guys. But yeah, it's all yours, Kabir.
Cool. Appreciate it, man. So I guess we're going to basically cover sales, right? You guys are doing sales. I don't have, I like to be transparent with everyone. I don't have extreme knowledge in specifically cars and detailing, but I mean, I have experience in high ticket. And if you're selling things, when I say something like high ticket, that could be 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. Like Steven was mentioning, 3,000, 2,000 different services that you have. They're considered higher ticket items, right? So I have a lot of experience there for several years. I've sold, kind of like what Steven was saying, I've done multiple 6 figures, cash collected, asking people, hey man, give me 15 grand right now, a couple times a day, right? Doing that over and over and over again. So it's somewhat similar. So if there's certain things that I mentioned that you guys want to maybe ask questions about, you want to interrupt me while I'm talking, you guys can go ahead and do that. But if there's certain things that I'm mentioning, like if I say something like coaching, or I mention like, a mentorship program or something, you guys can kind of interchange those different terminologies to be applicable to your industry, right? So what I like to do is, I feel like most of the industry does a lot of yes stuff. Right? They get you to say yes, right? When someone's on the phone with you or you're in person with them and you guys are talking, your goal for most people when they're trying to get a conversion, a sale, high ticket, low ticket, whatever it is, they kind of want people to say yes. And that's a dangerous thing to do because people have been kind of battered over the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Yes, 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 yes. There's even books out that talk about yes momentum. So I like to focus on no, because if you guys think about it, no is a very defensive thing to say, right? What do you say no to? You're like, no, I don't want that. No. Say what? No.
I think somebody just didn't mute themselves, but yeah, keep going.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I like to really focus on no. And the reason I like to focus on no, number one, there's a lot of science that's already proven from your brain, basically, when you say the word no, it makes you feel defensive, like you're in control, basically, and someone else isn't in control. When you say yes, you feel like you're giving into something, right? And when typically people are selling you stuff and they're like, hey, you know what? Do you want good service or bad service? And they're like, oh, well, I want good service. And you're like, you want it to be really good though, right? And it's like, yes. And it's like, you don't want people to make a mistake, right? And they're like, yes. And it's like, you want to stay away from that, because what if someone has an objection? What if, yes, I want good service, but I want it done today? They don't have the ability to tell you, I want it done today, because the only option that they have is yes, right? So when you say something like no, you're technically getting them to say yes, right? So do you want high quality service, right? That's a yes. You can say, are you against getting higher quality service? Someone would say no. But in that same question, when you flip it around, when they just said no, they technically just said yes, right? But every time that they're saying no, they're feeling more and more in control of the conversation, and people like to feel in control of things, right? So one of the themes of this conversation, this video, this Zoom call that we're going to be doing, is basically no, getting people to say no, right? Are you guys against me continuing? That's a question to you guys. No. All right. That's me basically saying no. You guys basically just said yes by saying no, right?
No, I am not against you continuing.
No. And then, another cool thing about saying no is, if you guys were to say no, I'm not against you continuing, it actually also opens up the ability for you to say, but no, I'm not against you continuing, Kabir, but I kind of wanted you to go back and tell me a little bit more about this. Meaning, I get to overcome an objection that I just passed by Now, if I got you to say yes, you have to say yes to move on. You can't say yes and then go back. So this objection popped up. Now I'm going on to the next question. Another objection might have popped up. By the time you get to your fifth or sixth question, a person that you're talking to might have already had 3 or 4 objections that they wanted to talk to you about, but you're not giving them the opportunity, right? So that's another reason why you want to get people to say no, right? Another thing is tonality, right? So I'm going to give you guys an example of tonality, and this is called an upward inflection and a downward inflection. And you can say the same exact thing to someone, right? But you can add an upward inflection and you can add a downward inflection to the same exact thing you're saying, word for word the same, but it's going to have a complete different meaning. And you can ask someone a question by adding an upward inflection without actually asking them a question. Do you guys get what I mean? That's an upward inflection. Do you guys get what I mean? Because you see my voice is kind of going up. Do you get what I mean? So you guys have a spouse, husband, wife, whatever it is. You guys got a kid, you guys got cousin, brother, whatever, whoever it is, right? And they're playing loud music or they're watching TV really loud and you're trying to focus on something. You can tell them, hey, turn that down. That's a downward inflection, right? Or you can say, hey, turn that down. That's a question. You notice how I'm saying the same exact thing, turn it down? It's the same exact thing, but one is down, one is up. Now, the difference between up and down in tonality is when you say it down, you're basically commanding someone. You're saying, hey, this is an ultimatum. This is what I'm telling you to do. Do it. People don't like that, right? People feel, again, you're making someone feel defensive. You're taking away something called their autonomy. You're not allowing them to have options, and people don't like that. They feel like you're pressuring them. So when you're asking questions and when you're talking, you can add an upward inflection. And by doing that, even if I'm not asking you a question, naturally, the way it hits your neurochemistry is it makes you want to answer. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I know what you mean. Know what I mean? That's more of like, all right, man, this guy, know what I mean? It's like, all right, he's not trying to ask us questions. He's not trying to get us engaged. Know what I mean? People are like, yeah, I know what you mean, man. Like, keep going. So big difference in the way that you're even using your tone. So when you're asking certain questions and you're going through, hey, what kind of detail would you like? Hey, what kind of detail would you like? There's ways to even talk with the tonality that allows someone to be more open to give you more information. And
Can I butt in real quick, Kabir?
No, you cannot. Go ahead.
Honestly, I like that you're covering that, bro. Because what I'm noticing, like with some of the detailers in this group, right, is that when we answer the phones, because one of the main ways that they get business is lead inquiries, right? And sometimes, I'm gonna be honest with you, some of you guys sound dead. We did some role plays. Some of you guys are like, hello, hey, this is so-and-so auto detailing. Okay, cool. What's your price? Well, what service are you looking for? You guys, if you make it more personal with what Kabir's talking about right now, like injecting your voice, like don't just be like, hey, what service are you looking for? Say it like Kabir's saying, what service are you looking for? Say it in a higher tone, because that means that shows that you care more. If you just say, hey, okay, well, what service are you looking for? It's kind of like you're just another number. I'm trying to get off the phone with you. It really sounds like you guys are just trying to get off the phone with the client. But if you say it like Kabir's saying it, adding an upward inflection, like, well, what service can I do for you? You know what I mean? That seems like, hey, this guy's actually interested in talking to me, and he doesn't just want to hang up. So I'm gonna let you go on, but I just wanted to point that out so these guys can see how it adds value to their business, and I might do that once or twice during the call. So, but yeah, go on.
I want you to do that because what you're saying right now helps add context, right? And
right,
you're adding
because
to it, so I appreciate that.
And I mean, guys, a lot of your guys' business, guys, what's gonna make or break your guys' bank account is the way that you guys answer and pick up the phones. So what Kabir is talking about, guys, take notes on this shit. And really, you guys are probably gonna come and rewatch this call a couple times, because this is gonna make or break your business. The way you guys answer the phone and the way you guys communicate with these clients over the phone is gonna make or break your guys' bank account. So you guys need to fucking take notes. Take notes on this. All right, go ahead, Kabir. I don't want to interrupt you too much, brother.
No, you're good, and that you're actually spot on. So when when I was doing super high ticket sales and collecting a lot of cash overhand, you know, I was notoriously known for picking up the phone when I'd call someone and, you know, they would say something like, hey, how you doing? I'd say, man, I'm doing fantastic, amazing, phenomenal. Pick one of the three. Just make sure you return it at the end of this call, man. And I do it with a smile, and people can't help but feel good. They're like, what the fuck is this guy on? What's going on over there? What kind of car wash service? What's going on? There's probably extra water. They're doing something. It just, people feel more welcoming. They feel more like, oh man, I want to talk to this guy a little bit more, right? What are you doing so excited, right? But another thing that you guys can add into what Stephen was just talking about, if you have a hard time having vibrant tonality, and it's like, man, that's a little extra for me. I don't know if I could do that, guys. Like, I know I should be, but I don't want to. Try smiling. Try smiling while you're talking. And when you're smiling while you're talking, it actually affects something called mirror neurons in our brain. So you can't help it. It's like when you're talking to someone in real life and they're just smiling. And look, even when you're over the phone, it's translated through the phone if you're smiling. So if you're having a hard time and you really don't want to have that upbeat personality because you're a little tired, you didn't get as much sleep the night before, you had too many beers, come on. I mean, I know how it is running a business. Everyone's got their own things that are going on. You got the kids keeping you up. Try smiling because it's going to help even if your energy is low. So that's a great point that you had, Stephen. So tonality was a big one. Another one, guys. One of the big bombs, all right, the secret bomb that I see people using in sales, that it's a double-edged sword, right? And I would use it very, very conservatively, is the word why, right? So people, what's your price? Well, why do you want to know? Someone will say something that's like, well, why do you want to know? The reason you guys don't want to use why, and you want to maybe write this down right now and just put why, circle it, and put like 95% of the time you don't want to use why. You want to take it out, all right? 5% of the time you want to use why. It's like a sniper in war. You don't run around with a sniper. You know, you got the Marines in the front, you got the semi-autos, you got all this other stuff. Everyone's not running around with a sniper. There's a subsection of snipers out there. And why is one of those words. And the reason why is one of those words is because why makes people defensive. Think about when you were growing up as a kid and you came home late. What'd your mom say? What'd your dad say? What'd your older brother say? Older sister, your grandma, your aunt, whoever was around. Why'd you do that? Why'd you come home late? What happened when you got bad grades? Why'd you get bad grades? What happened when you got caught doing whatever you were doing? Why'd you do that? You know, so that's in your brain from a kid. That word why makes you think about all that stuff, and it automatically makes people defensive. So even when you're having a conversation with your friends, your spouse, your kids, whoever it is, your friends, try it next time. See if what I'm telling you is fake. This guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Try it. Wherever you guys are doing tonight, be at the family table, dinner table, kids come home, whoever you're there with, right? You got an imaginary friend if you got no family. Hey, I'm not judging. This is a non-judgmental call, okay? But try asking them why. They'll tell you, hey, I had a long day and, I just skipped the gym. Be like, why? Instantly, they're going to say, well, let me tell you what. It makes people defensive. Well, look, man, this is what happened. I didn't get enough sleep. And look, like my food wasn't on point. And, I had low energy. People get defensive, right? So you don't want to make people feel defensive. What you want to do in that situation, all right, is if someone is telling you something, you want to do something called an observational accusation. And the reason, like, what is an observational accusation? All right. Everyone does something called micro expressions. All right. So if I'm having a bad day and I want you to know about it, all right, but I don't want to be upfront and tell you about it, I want you to just pick up on it. Everyone does this, by the way. And it's beautiful and it's bad because, it'd be great if people could just say, hey, man, I'm having a bad day. Leave me the fuck alone. All right. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on here. Sorry about that. Yeah, leave me alone, But what people will do is they'll say something like,
curse all you want, bro. This is a real ass. I fucking curse all the time, bro.
Okay,
It's a real ass group right here. all grown men.
Because I wrote down in my journal that I was only going to curse 3 times. Let me just scratch that out real quick. Let me scratch. I'll go. No, I'm just joking. But what you want to do is they will give you hints in their expressions and their micro expressions. So if you get on a call with someone, I'm going to try to come up with some examples off the top of my head. Okay, you're talking to someone and they're like, what's the price? Like they're being real short with you. Yeah. Okay. How far is it? What time are you guys open? They're giving you micro expressions of what? I'm frustrated. Might be having a bad day. I'm agitated. All these little things. They're basically telling you that with the way that they're talking to you. So what you want to do is you're thinking in your head. You already know what's going on. A beautiful thing about humans is we're very intuitive. We know other humans and the emotions that they're going through. But what we've been taught and what everyone thinks is don't talk about it. Well, if you talk about it, you actually get the problem out of the way. If you don't talk about it, which most people, so let's say I'm going to sell you a $3,000 package. In your gut, you know that this person is going to be like, what the 3,000? No, that's too much. And you're thinking that, and you know that, right? You don't want to. Everyone's going to say, hey, let's just try to find a way to spin around it. Hey, let me tell you about all the services. Let me tell you about all the features. Let me try to work my way around the pink fucking elephant in the room, that's an expensive ass product. That's an expensive service. That's a lot of money I'm asking for. That's what you want to say. And the reason you want to say it is you want to say, hey, listen, this is going to sound like it's really expensive. I just mentioned $3,000. Sounds like you got some sticker shock. Notice I'm not saying you got sticker shock. I'm saying it sounds like, right? It sounds like it's me making an observation. I'm not making an accusation. I'm making an observation, right? So listen, I said it's $3,000. And after I said that, you started getting a lot more quiet. You've been kind of asking me different questions. And honestly, Stephen, it sounds like you're just trying to get out of here and you're trying to explore your other options and you think you could find something a lot cheaper outside of here. And $3,000 is definitely not what you've been looking. You came in here to spend. All right, now that is exactly what the other person is going through at that moment. And that's exactly what you want to tell them. Why? Because as soon as you tell them that, they're like, hey, this is a straight shooter. This guy, I like this guy. He knows what's up. This is expensive. And they're going to start laughing. They'll say, hey, listen, man, honestly, that is expensive, right? That's really expensive, bro. I was just coming in here. I saw your guys' promo. It was like $99. And now you're talking about this $3,000. Bro, that's insane. But guess what's beautiful about that? Number one, you just gained genuine trust with the person. You're not making this fake trust, right? Oh, did you see my reviews? Hey, I'm smiling. Hey, you're 5'9", I'm 5'9" too. Oh, you got a black suit on? I got a black suit on too. Oh, you like black? Hey, I like that one sports. That's fake rapport, right? That's not real rapport. Real rapport is being honest with people and really paying attention to what they're going through and then letting them know that you know what they're going through. They're going to say, damn, this person's really paying attention to me. I like this guy. And he's a straight shooter because everyone fucking else that I talk to, they talk about this $3,000 shit and then they leave it alone and then they try to force me into buying it. Then they try to get me to buy the cheaper thing. Then they say, hey, no, I'll give you a discount. They try to ignore the fact that this shit is expensive. This guy right here just told me straight up, yeah, this shit's expensive. And it seems like this is expensive to you and you were not looking to purchase this and you're trying to maybe think about some things that are cheaper. They're always going to laugh at you and be like, there's two ways that's going to go. Number one, they're going to laugh and be like, oh, no. What's that beautiful word? No. But now it's coming out in repetition. No. No, man, it's not that. It's not that it's too expensive. It's not that I can't afford it. I have it. It's just that, bro, my car isn't as big as that. And like, are you sure that, it's $3,000 for SL 550? Like that's a small, my little 7-year-old could drive. That's a toy car. Are you sure the $3,000 for the small car? That must be for the Suburban, the Cadillac, right? That must be for the president's car. So the $3,000. So what's good about that is now they're letting you know what's actually stopping them from buying the $3,000 thing is what? They don't think that their car should be charged $3,000 because of the size. And now you can say something like, actually, sir or ma'am, or, you know, we're in 2023. It could be a he, she, them, or gay, whatever it is. All right. You want to be respectful in business. You should say, hey, you know what? Actually, it has nothing to do with the size of the car. I'm so glad you asked. I'm so glad you brought that up. It actually has to do with the labor time, and it has to do with the specific special material that we use that 98% of the other people don't use. Now, if you wanted to use the cheaper material, we could definitely do it for $2,000. Hey, you know what? I could probably even get it down to $1,500. But let me tell you something. It's probably going to scratch the car. It's not going to last as long. You're going to be over here in a shorter period of time. And it's actually in the long run going to cost you more. But I'm not against doing that. Is that what you want to do? Right? That's one way it's going to go. Wow. The other way it's going to go is it is really expensive. And I don't want to spend this kind of money. I only have a budget of $500. And honestly, I only wanted a $100 thing. You can say, I totally understand. Thanks for letting me know. But both scenarios come out with you understanding what the real objection is for why someone's not buying something. And you're not stuck with someone saying bullshit to you about, oh, this happened, oh, that, oh, someone just called me, I got to pick someone up. Oh, hey, I'll be right back. You have a car. Hey, can I get your email? Oh, why you guys were, then they'll start trying to be your friend. Wow, this is great. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to tell everyone. Zero sale. You just lost it because you're doing all this juggling.
Hey, Kabir, you know what? I'm getting a call right now. Can I call you right back?
Yeah. Oh, no, but wait. You know, how expensive is that?
Do you guys see what Kabir? Do you guys see what Kabir just did right there with that example? Basically, he addressed the elephant in the room, guys. And what's the elephant in the room 90% of the time?
Price.
When we're answering these calls, guys, what is the elephant in the room? Especially when you guys are selling ceramic coatings in person or over the phone, right? Or if you're selling a ceramic coating to a client where they're used to you charging them 100, 200, 300 for a detail, now all of a sudden you're hitting them with a $900, $1,000 service. What is Kabir doing? He just addressed the elephant in the room. And what he did, guys, was that barrier that a lot of you guys have between you and the client. Here, like, you guys have a barrier, and that wall standing between you and the client is that price, right? What Kabir did was he just took down the wall and he said, hey, man, I'm on your level. Fuck this wall. Fuck the price. Kind of sounds expensive, doesn't it? You know what I mean? I could kind of tell that, based off your reaction, or something like that. But basically what he's doing, guys, is he's taking down that wall and putting himself on the same level as the customer. Like, you know what? It does. And then once you guys do that, you could really find out where they're at. You know what I mean? You could really find out where they're at. And that's the thing, guys, is like when you say your price, don't explain yourself. Don't try to fucking talk about the service, because by the time you get your price, guys, you guys have already went over everything. You guys have already, before you gave your price, you guys have went over everything. Now it's all about seeing how the customer feels about it and whether they're going to move forward or not. So that's what Kabir's doing. If anybody didn't understand that, what he's doing, guys, is he's addressing the price issue and he's getting on the customer's level.
And the beautiful thing about that is getting on someone's level, as Stephen addressed it. It just means you're listening. That's another massive sales theme that a lot of people don't get is, people are like, how do you do say, like, oh, how do you get that convert? Da, 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 da. I'm like, dude, I just listen. A lot of people have a habit of not listening. When you're selling something, what they're doing, most sales reps that what they're doing, rookies, is they're waiting for you to stop talking so they can hit you with their next line. Oh, I got this. They're thinking I got to have this kind of question. He's going to say that I'm going to go do that to him. And then but they're not actually 100%. Listening. Yeah.
100% rookie shit. You guys hear that, guys? Rookies. And that's the thing, guys. You guys aren't here to debate your customers or dispute your customers or prove your customers wrong and why you're right. Fuck that. And I notice a lot of you guys, when you guys are going to get out of that field, you guys are going to wait for the customer to talk just so you can speak. Yeah. But what you guys really got to do is listen. Listen. The more you listen, the more sales you will make, like Kabir's saying.
And sales, I mean, if you really want to be Jedi 2.0, right? The whole goal is to get someone else to believe in what you want them to purchase. Obviously, it should be something that they want to purchase, but they're coming to that conclusion themselves and you're helping them get there. It's not you convincing them. If you're convincing them, you're losing. The person talking the most is losing. The person trying to push you to something is losing. It's you asking them specific, unique questions so that they come to the conclusion themselves. What exactly is it about the detailing that you want to purchase or that brought you in today? Well, I really like keeping my car. They'll give you a list of things. Oh, nice. Now I'm going to make an observation. It sounds like you take a lot of pride in, your car, and, it's a status symbol to you, and you don't like people who disrespect their vehicle, and, they sloppy and sturdy, and that's not the kind of person you are. Yeah, I'm not that kind of person. That's not me at all. I do like taking care of my da. They talk. And you're basically asking them those questions, listening to what they're saying, and then making an observation based on all the information that they just gave you to basically paraphrase everything that they just said. And if you are accurate, they will always say, exactly. Oh, yeah. And then every time they say that in their head, they're saying, man, this guy, he gets it. This guy knows what I'm going through, because everyone's going through something different. But people, the number one thing you want to go for is getting people to feel like they've been understood. You guys ever get how many of you guys are married in here? I'm going to open this up real quick. How many of you guys are married? How many of you guys got a significant other right now out of the group?
You want them to type in the chat, or do you want them to raise their hand on the camera?
In the chat. If you guys are married or seeing someone right now significant, number one. If you're not, number two. You guys know how to use the chat? One. Here we go. Mike is saying one. Ruben is saying one. We got one. We got two. We got one. Okay, so a lot of you guys are seeing the other person.
Yo, I'm the only single person in here. What the fuck?
Hey, it's okay, man. But when you're having that argument, we got another one down there. When you're having that argument with your significant other, isn't it always like you just don't get it? And then you're trying to explain your side, and then they're trying to explain their side. And you're just getting boiled up because it's like, wait a minute, you don't even get what I'm saying and why this is an issue to me. And they're over there waiting to do the same thing to you. But if you just drop it completely and you let them just talk all day, you can actually listen to what's going on in them, and you can say, oh, I get it. So when I put my shoes down in the living room, when they're done talking, right, you want to paraphrase back to them. And you don't want to say you, by the way. You is an accusation. You is also, people don't like being pointed at. It's like you're making me defensive again. You want to make an observation, kind of like you're observing something. You're thinking about something. You're there with someone and you're looking at like the Animal Planet. And you're going, man, that lion looks like he's hungry. It seems like that lion is hungry. And the other person saying, why does it seem like that lion's hungry? Well, I don't know. It's just the way that he's doing this weird little walk thing, It seems like he's getting hungry because he doesn't normally do that, right? So when you're having that conversation with your significant other, when they're done talking, you want to say something like, it seems like every day when I get home from work and I put my shoes down in the living room instead of the shoe rack, that you spent $50. And that $50 is hard-earned money that you had to work really hard for. And you just feel like I'm completely disrespecting you. I don't care about you. And I'm just, completely being a jerk to you. And every time I do that, which is almost every day, I'm doing it purposely to piss you off. They're going to say, yeah, that's exactly what it is. But what you just did right now is you diffused the real objection completely. And the rule with objections and negatives is when you talk about them, they always lower. They always lower, meaning you go to public and you see someone who has anxiety. Everyone's got anxiety today. So I don't want to hear anyone say, I don't have anxiety. Everyone's got that shit, all right? Like 90% of the people in the world, you go to the supermarket, you go to the car detailing spot, you've got anxiety sometimes because you didn't get good sleep, you're dehydrated, this kind of shit's happening to you, can't make eye contact with people, weird shit's going on. You guys know that to be absolutely true. That's undeniable fact. But if you just say that to someone, right? If you see someone in public and they're tripping out and shit, and you say, man, it seems like you had a long night and, you're a little worked up and, man, are you all right? Everything good? They're going to be like, yeah, I am worked up. I did have bad sleep. Oh man, I'm just a little, nervous and whatnot. Yeah. But them talking about it and you talking about it and you calling it out is now relieving that completely, because before you said that, they're just tripping. And they're doing this kind of stuff. They're thinking people aren't looking at them. They don't want anyone to make, but now you just mentioned it. And now they feel a little bit better. You're relieving their anxiety. And that's good communication. And when you make people feel good, they're going to say, man, I like what this guy's talking about. You know what, honey? You know what, man? I wasn't planning on spending $3,000 today, but I like this guy. This guy, he actually is looking out for me. He knows exactly what I'm going through. He knows exactly what I want and my needs. He gets me. So we're not going with the $3,000 one. We're going to go for the $2,000 one, because I did not know that this type of material had that type of high quality. And plus, I like this guy and I like working with him, or I like this girl and I like working. So making people feel understood. Any questions so far, guys? I want to stop right now.
I want to add something to that is, remember there's like a famous saying in sales, bro. And even in relationships too, when it comes to women, when it comes to family, when it comes to friends, but mostly sales, guys, is that people will forget what you say, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So like Kabir's saying, just that little thing, bro. You know what I mean? A guy may have called 5 detailers before you, but if you made him feel good on the call, he'll remember, like, damn, you know what? That guy knowing, man, I felt a lot more at ease on the call with him. If I'm going to get $1,000 ceramic coating, I'll probably just do it with him sometime this week, just because, and they're not going to remember all the info of the other 5 detailers, but they're going to remember, man, me and that guy Noe kind of clicked on the call. He seemed like a chill dude. Hey, Noe, what's up, brother? Hey, you have time this Thursday, bro? I want to go ahead and get that 3-step ceramic coating. I want to get the 10-year warranty one.
I actually do have time this Thursday.
All right, cool. No, let's do it, man. Yeah, I want to go ahead and get with that 10-year warranty one you were telling me about. And they're not even going to tell you like why, but you guys there's more trust, more built there because you were just real, you were authentic, and like Kabir said, you were able to connect with them by using those tactics, guys. You know what I mean? These are tactics. These are strategies.
And by the way, let's rewind that real quick. We had a big key right there. Someone said that they're ready to buy. So credit, debit, we accept that. Discover, Amex, Visa. What do you want to do? Let's go ahead and get it started right now. Did you want to spell out your name one more time, man? Let's go ahead and get that guy the $3,000 package. Go ahead and spell it out nice and slow. Nice and slow for me, man. Start with the card number.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions for Kabir, guys? Up until this point, I mean, I got a ton of value from this, Matt. I get to talk to Kabir. He's a friend of mine. I get to hit him up, bro, and ask him questions about sales. And even me, bro, like I ask him questions all the time, guys. And, we'll bounce ideas off of each other. Does anybody have any questions up until this point, guys, on anything that he's talking about? What's up, H3? For those, hey, hold on, bro. Your mic's a little muted. For those who don't know, bro, this is whoever goes like H2O Auto Supply. This is H2O Auto Supply's son. He's a videographer, and he's joining us today on the call. We actually collab with him, so he's on today's call. Go ahead, brother. See if you can unmute yourself. We can't hear you. Can you guys hear him?
I hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's good now. Yeah.
So, I don't know if we're gonna speak more on this, but what's it called? The one thing I always go through a lot is I get a lot of phone calls and they're always asking prices, and I feel like because I'm so busy inside the store, it's hard to give them a good estimate on the phone or try to close the sale on the phone when I have like a lot of clients inside the store. Is there something that I could do to optimize the phone call and try to make a sale faster than spending an hour on the phone?
Yeah, hire someone to take the phone call.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that is a simple answer, right? If you want like a ninja move, like a quick one, to kind of get to the core, again, So a lot of people who do that price stuff, you know, I get that a lot. People like, hey man, just shut the fuck up and tell me how much it costs now. Those kind of people, right? Like the terrorists. They're like, hey, listen, if you don't tell me, if you don't get me the car outside, you know, I'm gonna shoot this person. You got 3 seconds, and you're like, dude, I don't even know what kind of car you got. What are you talking about? I don't even know where you're living. How can I tell you that? People who do price, all right, this is where you get into the why. All right. I remember early on, I said, you know, don't use why. You have to use it really strategically. It makes people defensive. Now, what you want to do is you want to flip it on them. All right. Use this psychological tactic in your favor by saying H3. Out of all the people online that you looked up, why did you decide to call us? Why us? Out of everyone else that you could have called. Mm-hmm. They'll say, hey, you know what? I liked your reviews. You guys are really close to me. I saw some of my other friends go to your spot and you seem like a cool guy. You're like, then what's stopping you from coming in? Come on in.
I like that one right there.
Out of my face.
Guys, that's smooth right there.
That was smooth too, because I'm the same way, man. Like I feel like I can have more control of the conversation if I'm talking to the client inside the shop with me, you know, instead of going over through a phone call, because I'm busy, you know. I'm busy. At this point, I don't trust anybody to do the sales for me, so I do the sales myself. So I just feel a little bit more confident, you know, if I'm talking to the customer in person. So I think that's the same question that Hector was asking. He wanted to bring his customers in person to his shop so he could communicate with him a little bit better. It kind of separates the serious ones from the price shoppers, you know, from the window shoppers, and then the people
100%. And understand, guys, is that's a skill in itself. That's a skill in itself, is getting people to meet in person. If you can get somebody to make the time investment to come meet you in person, you've already won a percentage of the battle. You know what I mean? So that's key, guys. Don't think that, you know, that shit comes easy. What Kabir's talking about, that shit takes skill. That shit takes work. It takes practice. And you guys might not get it in the first couple tries. But then the more you guys try, the more you guys are going to succeed. You know what I mean?
And to add on to that, to answer your guys' question, to add on to what Steven is saying, you guys are absolutely right. You don't get 100% conversions. And a lot of people who do tire kick, when they ask price questions like that, if they're not trying to work with you, tell them to kick fucking rocks so that you can take that time and focus on someone who is trying to work with you, right? But I like to use the why. You know, I'm very direct, right? I'm a straight shooter in sales. So if I'm trying to talk to someone and they're just trying to get down to the core bottom of the price, and that they just keep going and they start getting short with me, and I'm trying to have a conversation with them, and I'm saying, hey, you know, come on in here. And they're like, just tell me the price though. And I'm like, hey, listen, I would love to tell you the price, but I don't know what kind of car you have. I got to look at it. And, you know, I need to know some more information about how quick you look, bro. Like, can you just tell me the price? I'll go straight to them. I'll say, it looks like you don't have a lot of time. You're calling a couple different people. You're trying to get the best price on a car, and you're just price shopping right now, and you just want to know some general number on how much something like this costs, and that's all you care for. Yeah, and that sounds like something you don't want to say. That's like, oh shit, dude, you're gonna piss someone off. No, that's exactly what's going on with them, right?
You have to address it. You have to address it.
And if it's true, they'll say, yeah, man, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. You say, listen, I'll give you a general number, and it's not accurate because I need a lot more information. But let me tell you something. After you drop that bomb on them, they typically open up and they're like, man, you're right. You know, maybe I should come in there. Let me give you some more of that information you were looking for, because they're like, oh shit, this guy's different. No one does that. No one does that.
Either they're going to be like, you know what, you're right. I should go in because it's in my best interest to go in. I can get a better price and I can get a better estimate. After you look at my vehicle, it'll serve me in my best interest if I go in and you take a look at my car in person. Or they're going to be like, you know what? I am a piece of shit. Waste of time. Later. Thank you. I'm not going to waste your time because you already figured out that you figured out that I'm a waste of time. Yep. You caught me. All right. You have a good day. I'm telling you, bro. A lot of these people, like you said, are going to be tire kickers, bro. They're going to waste your time. And picture this, guys.
It's about being able to identify who's not
Right.
and who is fast.
Right. Exactly. Exactly, guys. Being able to identify that fucking fast. You know what I mean? And if they're not willing to spend 30 minutes of their day to go to your location, what makes you think they're going to be willing to spend $1,000 on a service that you guys are trying to charge for, or 300 or 500, whatever it may be? You know what I mean? So that's a good way to weed out, the clients that you want. Is there anybody else that has a question up until this point, guys? Anybody else? Tell you guys some high level shit right here. Anybody else up until this point?
What are some of the other big objections you gotta get? How about that? Throw that out there.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody want to share some objections that you guys get?
And thanks for sharing that, H3. That was a good one. Did you get that answered, by the way? You got some new artillery to go to war? You got some new weapons in your arsenal?
Like at the end of the day, it's like this whole conversation from the beginning of it is definitely like clicking to me. It's making sense. It's like something that I've practiced. And in sales, I've always been the realest person. Like, for example, a client came in and they spent already $10,000 on a service that they got. And he came in, he's like, hey, I want to change this thing up. I want to add it onto what I've already spent. I don't want to spend any more money than this. And he was giving me a really hard time. And I still stayed smiling. I'm like, look, like he just kept on bringing up the fact of like he's mad that he spent this much money, but he doesn't want to spend more.
Did you tell him that though?
But then he's like, he kept on saying that. And then I was like, you know what? To be quite honest with you, I don't think you're going to be happy with whatever I do. I don't think you're going to be happy at the end of the day, trying to work around with what you already got from someone else and trying to save more money. I don't think you're going to be happy, to be honest. So I would just rather decline this service right now. I've had multiple bad reviews already, and I don't want this to be another one. And right then and there, the guy was like this. He was like, what? You know, you're right. You're right. And then from there, he's like, then what could we do? And then I told him, let's use the equipment you have already and let's do a whole complete thing. I could try to save you as much money, but I'm telling you, it's going to be expensive. But are you going to be happy? You're going to be happy instead of working around it. And then that's why, like, hearing you saying, like, finding the obstacle and, like, noticing and what he's saying and how he feels, that way, at the end of the day, he notices that you're not just a robot and you could connect to him, like, what he's thinking.
You can tell what's going on with him.
Yeah, what he's going through. But
I would have, you did it a different way. I would have done it, in a way by immediately calling him out. I would have been like, it sounds like you spent a lot more money than you planned on spending. And initially, when you spent it with me, you were excited and happy. And as the days have gone by, you've realized now that you spent too much money. And now you're trying to find ways to add bonuses and add additional services that aren't included in what you spent because you feel like the value is just not there anymore.
Yeah, because he
would have been like, you start laughing. He's like, fuck, this guy got me. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. And then he would have looked at you and been like, man, that's when they're a little embarrassed, but they're like, I like this dude because that's exactly, I'm trying to be weird and weaselly, and this guy just called me out on it. And then you say, well, man, like, that's not cool, bro. Like, I mean, I could work with you. I'm going to try to do. Then they're going to feel guilty. They're going to be like, I need to refer people over to this guy. Nah, let's try to work something out. Let's figure something out. But people try to avoid, H3, you did a good job calling him out, right? People try to avoid that because they're like, oh shit, if I say he spent too much money, he's going to say, yeah, and he's going to say, give me my money back. And I don't want him to get the money back. No. That's not what's going to happen, but that's what's built into us. So I like that, man. Anything else you want to add, H3?
Oh, it wasn't, I mean, it's not important, but it wasn't something that he bought.
All right, then don't say it, bro.
Yeah.
If it's not important, I don't want to hear it. No, I'm just joking.
For sure. But yeah, that's definitely, and the phone call stuff, it's like, because my Instagram is very, it's booming, it's successful, and my marketing is on point. Like I always get leads, a lot of them. And it's just,
you have a setter.
Yeah. So
you have a setter.
What is that? What is that?
Someone who talks to your leads and that's all they do.
before I was the one doing it, but
Okay, you need to get a dedicated setter. If you have so many leads that are flooding in, you need to get a dedicated setter. You can outsource it if you want to. I mean, I would just find a way to get a setter, get them dedicated to only doing that because you got a lot of leads coming in. That's your cash. That's your cash cow, man. That's the golden geese that keeps laying the fucking golden egg, right?
Yeah,
So you want to take care and nurture that. You want to dedicate a setter, and that you want to figure out the scripting, which basically is a qualification call. You can call it a setter call, or you can call it a disco call, is what we call it in sales, in the sales process. And all they do, all right, is they try to figure out, is this a qualified lead? Are they likely to convert, or is this a tire kicker? And even on that call, you still want to collect their phone number and their email. Because if they're a tire kicker, you can always start sending them emails. Hey, we got this promo. Hey, we got this discount. Hey, did you see this person's car? It looks, and they're going to say, oh shit, that's exactly my same car. That shit looks dope over there. And that might convert 3 months later after they saw 20 emails.
Yeah. Subliminally, yeah, for sure.
And the setter, that's all they're doing, is they're just talking to your leads all day, and they're saying the same shit. Oh, well, whereabout are you located? Oh, can I get your first name and your email in case we get disconnected? Oh, thank you. Now you got their information stored. Now remember, if your Instagram gets shut down, it gets flagged, you got haters, I could call someone right now and get your Instagram banned. Like that's no questions. I could do it. If I'm a hater, if I'm your competition, I'm recorded, I don't give a fuck. I could call someone right now, drop a couple racks, and your Instagram is gone. Now you have to start a whole new Instagram. The reason I'm saying that is because you don't own your Instagram. So if you have a source of traffic that is generating leads into your business, your main primary number one goal should be to retain that information and use that as your customer list and to own your list. And the only way to own your list is with their phone number and their email. Because Facebook can go away, Instagram can go away, whatever, the TikTok can go away, the flip flop can go, all of that can go, the YouTube can stop, but you still have a list of all the people who you ended up talking to, who booked a call with you, and your emails and your phone number, and you could use that as a fucking ATM, because all you have to do is start sending emails. You have to start getting on the phone. You're not getting any business this month. Just start calling people. Hey man, I haven't seen you in 3 months. Just wanted to let you know, you have 10 minutes to talk. We got this new promotion going on. Oh, you have time later this week? That's perfect, man. Let me tell you what, let me get you booked in this Thursday. And I'll tell you what, I remember you had a kid who just got that new Honda. I'm going to take care of him. I'm going to give him a 50% discount. Bring both of the cars in this Thursday, man. Thank you so much. I hope you have a blessed rest of your, boom, I'm on the next phone call. But so you could use that list as a cash machine, bro.
And the thing is, H3, like with you, it's a little different since, you know, you guys have the retail store. Me and Kabir know people, bro, that have had retail stores online, and they were able to sell email lists, like actual just email lists of current customers for tens of thousands of dollars, if not over 6 figures. Just an email list of their current customers. And they're like, hey, I'll sell you my email list for $30,000. You know what I mean? Like just like that, bro. So that's how valuable an email list is. And since you're in retail, bro, I'm pretty sure you guys capture your customers' emails, right?
On Shopify, yes.
That's a no right there. He's like, well, wait, hold on.
You gotta be, dude. I mean, bro. I mean, I'm telling you, brother. Like that's huge. You know, obviously, H2O, you're in a different spaces here in retail, but you're also in the automotive industry. You know, you're right there with us. But that's some game right there, brother. Getting that email list going and growing it, bro. That in itself is a business. Just like I tell you guys, like digital assets, like Yelp, Google, shit like that are digital assets. Email lists are digital assets too. But with even more power, because once you have that information stored, it belongs to you.
Yeah.
It's not Yelp, it's not Instagram, it's not Facebook. That belongs to you. You know what I mean?
Do you guys have any software that you guys advise us to use?
Bro, there's so many out there. Like there's that shit. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm a sales guy. I'll do the sales. When it comes to the button clicking shit, I got, the team there, the system. That shit just, by the way, you know how bad that is? I'm Indian. All right. I'm supposed to be, my cousins are who you're calling right now for tech support. I'm supposed to have fucking 6 fingers on each hand. I'm supposed to be the computer whiz expert, but I know how to do all of that stuff, but man, I hate that shit. Kind of like, when you're in business and you're like, bro, I love talking to customers, or I love detailing the car, or I love fixing this, but man, I hate doing that shit right there. That you hire someone, they do that and they love it. That's a beautiful business right there.
Hey,
so when
H3,
it comes to that,
H3, how many inbound leads are you getting per day, bro, that you could potentially make sales to? Like just on average, like 10 to 20?
20, minimum 20.
So minimum 20 per day, guys. And this is why H3 has questions, because he's seeing people and talking to people all day. That's about how many inquiries Eric gets. Eric gets about like 10 to 15 inquiries a day. You know what I mean? These are sales opportunities. So guys, what are your questions? If nobody has questions, this is telling me that you guys are not talking to enough people and your guys' leads are not booming at all. Who has questions on sales? Come on, guys. Like, man, I could ask a million questions about just interactions that I had this week with customers on the credit repair side. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to make an assumption here. All right. I'm going to make an observational assumption. All right. It seems like everything that I've said here has been a complete waste of your guys' time. And there's a few of you that do have some questions, but you feel like if you ask a question, it's going to be a stupid fucking question, and you don't want to ask it publicly and embarrass yourself. And if it's not that, then what I'm talking about just isn't relevant. And the way that you're currently doing business is the way that you're doing it, and this isn't really that applicable.
You just sold me again. You made me say.
I got some questions, but I want some of the detailers in the
I think because you're our second guest speaker, so these guys just got to warm up. But who has a question?
I know Mike got a question. Mike, you gotta have a question.
I was trying to get you guys to say no, right? I was making it extreme. Like this, I was like, this is a complete waste of your time.
Yo, real talk. I'm pretty sure. Like, here's the thing, guys. I'm pretty sure like Kabir has reservations at like Caesar's Palace at like fucking Mastro's or something. So he's probably like, let me get off this call with these niggas. If they want to be broke, they can stay broke. I already know that's how fucking Kabir thinks. But what's up? What's your question, Mike?
No, I didn't have a question. No, I was just gonna respond to Kabir, and I was gonna say no. Like I'm over here, taking notes. I'm observing,
See? Hell yeah.
Thanks for a little bit of that engagement, Mike. Appreciate you, man. And
yeah.
Yeah,
what's up? You and Jose look like you could be distant relatives,
deep-ass
bro.
Darth Vader voice, bro. That's good looking for you, bro. Shout out to you.
Hey, Eric, did you hear what Kabir said? He said Mike has the Darth Vader voice.
He does, eh?
Yeah, I said shout out to his parents for giving you that Darth Vader voice, bro.
Bro, I was thinking that about you, brother.
All right, that's enough, man. Don't be not.
Hey,
go back to not saying anything, Mike. You're making me insecure right now, man. I thought I had a deep voice.
Kabir, do you feel like you and guys? Huh? Do you feel like you and Jose could be distant relatives?
Me and who?
Jose.
Where's Jose?
Bro, you guys are related.
Oh, it says Mike right here for me. It doesn't say Jose.
No, there's a Jose.
Hey, how you doing, Kabir?
What's up, Jose?
Yeah, man. So I'm Jose. But besides that, I do kind of have a question, right? So a question that following up what you said, just getting the client comfortable whenever you are trying to sell them whatever service, right? Just being at their level. You have clients that maybe probably will understand whenever you do get on their level, but what tips can you give to those clients that are hard to get on that level of I guess trying to engage with them, trying to get them to open up instead of just
you know what I tell them?
Yeah.
I tell them exactly what you just said right now. I say, hey, look, man, Jose, I'm trying to have a conversation with you right now. I'm trying to ask you questions so I could give you the right product and service and get you exactly what you need. But it seems like you don't like me. Now I'm gonna look, by the way, when I try to get a no from someone, if I don't really know what's going on, I'll take it extreme because it's going to make them say no and it's going to make them open up, right? So I'll say, hey, Jose, I'm asking you questions. I'm trying to figure out what exactly, I could help you out with. Maybe, we don't even have what you need, but I'm trying to figure it out. You're giving me really short answers. And Jose, honestly, like I tone down, I get my voice nice and calm because that calms other people down. Jose, it seems like everything that I'm saying is irritating you. You don't like me. I don't know, maybe because I'm brown and you're not as brown. I'm making shit up, but it seems like I'm irritating you. And these questions that I'm asking you are actually making you feel like, I'm just trying to be like an investigator. And I don't know how to kind of help you out, man. It seems like you don't like me. And he's gonna be like, nah, it's not that I don't like you. It's just that my wife has been fucking nagging me all last night, and I'm pissed as hell. And I'm sorry I'm taking it out on you right now, bro. My bad for being short. But what I'm trying to get at, Jose, is when they're being short with you, be nice with them still, talk to them. But if they keep giving you those like short one-word answers, call them out. Because they're giving you what I was talking about earlier in the conversation. Great question, by the way. They're giving you something called a micro expression, which is I'm irritated. You're frustrating me. I'm short with people. I don't feel like talking right now. They're telling you that by the way they're responding to you. So Jose, try a little bit, work with them a little bit, laugh, do the stuff that you know what you're doing. And if they keep being short with you, tell them that. Hey, it seems like you're being really short with me. You're not trying to answer any of my questions that I'm trying to figure out so I can help you out. And you really just don't even want to talk to me.
Right.
They'll be like, nah, it's not that I don't want to talk to you. I'm in your store. Of course I want to talk to you. It's just, I want to know, why is it so expensive, Jose? So they'll once you call them out, they'll say no, or they'll say, yeah, I don't want to talk to you. And you'll be like, all right, cool, get the fuck out of my face. I know to talk to someone else right now. Stop wasting my time. But you always get the objection overcome when you call someone out and they're doing that to you. Another way, all right, I'm gonna give you a little Jedi mind trick right here. People who are short typically are analytical. They're like the engineers. They're like my fucking cousins. They're like how I'm supposed to be. Timid, short, reserved, calculated, analytical, right? It's the dudes who are real detailed with their shit. They want to give you those small little answers, all right? So what I do with those people is I do the observations, which I just did. It seems like you're having a long day. It seems like you don't want to really talk, and you're one of those people who, just likes being real calculated with the way they talk to people, and you don't like giving up a lot of information. And I'm asking you questions and it's making you feel nervous. You want to make those accusations, and you want to do a lot of them with people who are short with you, because when you make an observation, they're always people can't help but want to correct you.
You guys, a perfect example of what Kabir's saying is, like, I guess I'm the only one in the whole chat who's not in a relationship. But here's a good example for those that are in relationships, right? Have you ever called your girl and she was real short with you, right? Really short, like seemed like she didn't want to talk, right? Seemed like she was in a bad mood, and you just tell her, you call her out on it, you go, you know what? You seem like you're busy, or you seem like you don't really want to talk, so I'll talk to you later. And then what does your girl go? No, babe, no, it's not even that. It's not that, babe. It's just that, this girl got on my nerves at work earlier, so I'm sorry if I'm taking it out on you. You ever told your girl that, like, hey, you know what? Sounds like you don't really want to talk, so I'll talk to you later. All right. And then they're like, no, don't hang up. All right. Well, what's going on? And then they tell you what's going on. Same thing with the client, except you do it in a more professional way. You know what I mean? Hey, it sounds like you may be a little preoccupied, or you might be a little too busy. Do you want to call back when you have a little bit more, time to really hear about the services? No. It's not that I'm busy. It's just that, you know what I mean? Fucking, I'm tripping out on the price that you said. I'm kind of just digesting that. So now it's the price.
Yep. Jose, you got more questions, man. I know you do. That you were gonna keep going, and I broke a cardinal rule, which is listen to people and let them complete. And that was another thing I was gonna tell you with these people who don't talk a lot. Give them at least 3 seconds after they're done talking, because if you give people 3 seconds and you just stop talking, people psychologically, humans, we have this weird thing in us. When there's silence, we want to fill the silence with something because it's weird. It's like, man, I'm on the phone with someone, or I'm talking to someone, and we're just sitting here staring at each other. This guy's not saying anything.
Right.
And there's 3 seconds right there. Someone's going on. You had another question. Drop it on me, man. Please. And that was a great one.
Yeah, no, no. Well, thank you for opening up more on that, because I know we did cover it, but thank you for giving more advice over that subject. Another question that I may have, shoot, I might have probably gonna have to come back to you with that one, man.
You're gonna have to come back to me on that one.
Yeah, another question.
Another question. You're gonna have to come back to me on that.
Well, I don't have one on the spot, but let me
By the
see.
way, you know what I
Yeah,
was doing right there?
yeah.
That's
Go ahead.
another technique you could do. All
Okay.
right. You just let someone complete a sentence and you think of 2 to 3 of the main things that they just told you in that sentence, and you repeat them back, only 2 to 3 pieces of it, and you use an upward inflection. You see, I asked you a question
Right.
without asking you a question by repeating what you just said with
Right.
the upward inflection. And what did it get you to do? You just kept talking.
Exactly.
You said, I don't have any other questions. I'm gonna have to get back to you. I said, you don't have any other questions? And you're like,
Right.
no, I don't have any other. I didn't say you have any. I didn't ask you to say that. You said,
Right.
no, I don't really have any other questions. It's just, not right now. I said, not right now. You're like, well, I'm trying to think of. So you could do that with someone for an hour and they'll just keep talking and talking and talking. And you didn't say anything. You're just waiting for them to get done. Last 3 things that they said are the key things. Repeat it right back to them. So if you're ever in a conversation, you get stuck, or you're talking to someone who's not talking a lot, just repeat it back to them. You get some feedback.
No, you might want to mute yourself, Noe.
I
got a question.
Somebody needs to turn off the mute.
Oh, Noe
you
has
got
a question.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, my bad. I think my I had a little problem. But I have a question. About the information with the downward inflection and upward inflection.
Yep.
And I took some notes on what you were saying, but like I want to know what the word inflection means. I know I could Google it, but I just wanted to ask you what that word meant, because I know when you said downward inflection is when you're a little bit too assertive or aggressive in controlling the conversation. And I know I'm very enthusiastic, so obviously it's important for us in sales to control the conversation. But I noticed that when you mention downward inflection, I don't allow the person, right, to have options. And that's a key thing for me to work on, because I do a lot of downward inflection. So I wanted to know what the word meant so I could like improve on that, because that's something very important that I'm learning today. Because like I said, I try to be very enthusiastic and persuade, but I think I do the downward inflection where I'm too too assertive, I guess, in the conversation. But I want to know what the word means.
I gotta Google it too with you, dog. It's the opposite of deflect. It's inflect, so it comes back, right? So when you are doing your downward inflection, it's a very natural thing that we all do. That's why I'm highlighting the tonality, which is something that goes over everyone's head, even in a sales script, even someone who has really good sales capabilities, even an expert sales script master, the one who's got the 900 PDF down, all of that, he uses all the words the right way. No, the tonality is okay. I'll give you a even bigger bomb, and I'm glad you asked this question because, by the way, inflection, deflection is you're deflecting something, right? So that's what it means.
Okay.
Downward is very normal for us to talk because it's like you're talking to your spouse, you'll say, "Go close those blinds." Doesn't that sound like a command? That's like, "Hey, go do that right now. Hey, go close those blinds." Or you could say, "Hey, go close those blinds."
Or like I just wanted to give my bad. I wanted to give an example. You're right about how because I try to convince people into investing, right? Like that's what we're providing a service that provides value, right, to the customer. And I like you just in that example, I do a lot of that. Like, oh, you should invest, and like kind of almost giving them like
pushing them,
like no option, like you say. And I think I need to fine tune that.
And I think the biggest thing I can say is if you don't know how, like the biggest hack, all right, I don't think you're not gonna find this normally. Like you could pay people for the master sales guru, master genius, Tony Robb, all of that. They're not gonna tell you this. if you want, because I always like to look for like the secret shortcuts, right? Sometimes you find them. And one of them is this: if you're not good at sales, you're like, man, Kabir's talking about this upward, downward, the what, and the accusation is like fucking, and it's like a new, I don't know, that's too much, right? If you want the hack to all of it, is tonality, right? And what I mean by that is tonality and confidence. Meaning, if you knew, let me see what your name is. What's your name, by the way? It doesn't show me on here. I see clean vibes.
So
mobile
no
details.
way. And the fact that you mentioned no, like it's like the first two letters in my name.
Is what? No?
It's Noe.
Noe, got you.
My
Okay.
name's Noe.
Okay. So if I told you that I found or if you found a $10,000 Ferrari right now, right? You're one of your neighbors. They're in this weird situation. They need 10 grand right now. And somehow they got their hands on a brand new 458 Italian special sport, right? They got the fucking $400,000 car sitting right there somehow. And they're like, listen, this is a legit deal. You got it all verified. The bank is like, yeah, this is legit. The car deal, everything checks out. There's no question that this is a legit deal and it's a real car. And he said, man, I just need 10 grand. I can't ask any. Can you get me 10 grand right now? How would you be telling, if you didn't have 10 grand in your pocket and you had to go talk to who? Your mom, your grandma, your little sister or brother who works wherever, like you'd be like, hey, listen, the way that you're talking, right? It's naturally going to come off, which is your confidence. You're going to say, hey, no, listen, let me tell you about this one. Man, like the way that your tonality is going to go is going to naturally kind of calibrate to the other person realizing you're really confident in what you're selling. That's another thing. When you're selling stuff, a lot of people actually aren't confident in what they're selling. And people can pick up on that because of the way you're talking. And it's not something that we're consciously aware of. It's subconscious because of the way that you're using your tonality. Some people are like, you know, you should get that or right there. And what they're basically saying is, you don't want that piece of shit right there, are you? That's what the brain is hearing because you're saying it like that. So tonality and confidence, conviction, competent, you could use any one of those. If you have that, it naturally, for the most part, will translate into your tonality being good. But to give you an example of tonality going back to what you were asking, that is what you should work on. And another thing, if you're getting people to invest in stuff, you don't want to tell them stuff like, yes, right? Kind of like what you said, hey, Kabir, you're right. I do need to work on my tonality. I need to find ways to ask questions in a different manner. You want to always get people to think that they came up with the solution on their own, not that you're telling them to do it. And for you, if you're getting them to invest in something, you would say something like, you know, are you someone who does not like investing? They'd be like, no, I like investing. That's why I'm here. Be like, okay. So we have a couple of different products. Are you against me kind of explaining some of these to you? No, I want to actually see all the different products that you guys have and all the different investment vehicles. Cool. Now, what kind of budget are you working with? Well, you know, I'm working. You're not saying like, let's do it. Let's. You want me to show you this thing? You want how many? You want me to show you 1, 2, or 3 of them? They're gonna say yes, yes, yes. You should always keep going to no, and you want to open up the questions with what and how. What kind of investment products are you looking to invest in?
That's a really good one, guys. You know, like for the clients that you feel, man, I don't think this guy would invest in a ceramic coating. Ask him, are you somebody who's against maybe
Learning
investing
about
a little,
different.
maybe investing a little more if you see the value? No, if I see the value, I wouldn't be against it.
Bingo.
Why would I?
Bingo.
All right, cool. Let me share this service that we have for you.
Would it be a totally ridiculous idea for me to tell you about this ceramic coat that you didn't come in here for, but would it be a complete waste of your time and totally ridiculous idea if I just showed you some of the cool benefits that it had and what the other customers said about it? Nah, man, it wouldn't be crazy. Let's see. You just got them to say yes, and they just said no to you, right? So you want to take it extreme when you're trying to get someone to say yes with a no. You got more questions, Noe?
For now that's it because like I'm glad you went over that, the upward and the tone, because like I said, I'm pretty sure a lot of us are enthusiastic and being persuasive, but at like giving the client the option to talk, listen, and not oversharing too much and things like that, and like you say, tone. So that's why I'm really grateful for this mentorship program, because I kind of have a basic knowledge, right, of sales, like but I I'm not at the level like some of the guys in this program, and that's why like I listen and take all the advice you guys share, and that's why I wanted to ask that question. And yeah, for now that's all I wanted to ask.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate that, bro. And thanks for engaging. And the beautiful thing about what you just said right now, which is I'm not on the level with these other people. Well, technically, you're going to be, because you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And right now, you're spending time with, quote unquote, people that are better than you. So by default, you're going to get better. So shout out to you, man, for engaging, and appreciate the question, Noah. Noe.
Thank you.
Who else has got a question? No one else?
What's up, man?
I don't have a.
Anybody else have questions? Humberto, I know you're always on calls and stuff, brother. You have any questions, Humberto?
Not at the moment. I came in kind of late to the call, just when they were just asking the last 2 questions.
I'm gonna share the link with you. That way you can see the recording, man.
All right,
Definitely
cool.
a lot of knowledge. Yeah, you don't want to miss out on this call, man. Kabir, I don't have a question, but I want to see if you could do like an example, like from what I asked you a question earlier of how you would get a customer, with Hector. How would you get a customer into your shop? A lot of these guys are mobile. How would they be able to get a customer to not give them a price, but to see if they could do like an in-person inspection first, like go to their house before they even give them a price?
Man, I'm gonna let Kabir add to that, but go ahead.
Hey, Eric, I know you want to get a price, and I really appreciate you giving me a call. You think it'd be completely ridiculous idea for you to stop by my store so that I could get a good look at your car and really give you a very accurate response to what kind of service that you would need that would be the best benefit for you? Would that be totally crazy and totally undoable for you?
Not at all, man.
But now he wants to see the example of
now it's a lot of these guys are mobile. That's why.
But a lot of these guys are mobile.
So,
So how would you say that for them to do an in-person inspection in their home, which is even easier than coming into a shop, in my opinion? So how would you do it if I'm a mobile detailer and I need to ask my client, hey, I need to go to your house and see it in person, or where you work or your place of business, so I can go to you and see it in person? How would you do that?
I would do it the same exact way. That's a great question. Thank you so much for asking about how much it costs, Stephen. Now, where about are you located by chance?
I'm in the Pasadena area, man.
In the Pasadena area. Awesome. So I'm about 15 minutes away. And what a lot of other customers have told me is, when we are able to go over there and actually look at your vehicle, we give the most accurate estimate. Would it be a totally insane idea for us to be able to meet up for maybe 5 to 10 minutes max, so I could just look at your vehicle and give you that exact estimation?
I mean, it wouldn't be totally insane. I mean, I guess that's all right.
Okay, cool. So how does 1 hour from now work? Now you could go the other way, right? Which could be, it wouldn't be super insane, but like, I got a tight schedule. I got a tight schedule. And you'd be like, you got a tight schedule? I'm going to start doing that weird shit with them. You got a tight schedule, upward inflection, 3 main things that they just told me. You got a tight schedule? Yeah, I got a tight schedule. It's, I'm at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm working out. I mean, I go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm at the gym. They talk a lot. And then you go, that's perfect, man. So you're at the gym at 6 o'clock? Yeah, I'm at the gym at 6 o'clock. How long you work out? About an hour and a half. I'll be over there. 15 minutes while you're working out. I'll come check out the car. Don't even need to talk to you. And I'll give you your estimation. Does that sound like a bad idea? No, that actually works out perfect. Well, but you get to figure out what the fuck is stopping them from saying yes. Is they'll tell you when they start blabbering. Right. Does that answer your question, Eric? Steven?
Yeah.
You guys want to drop another one on me? You want to throw a little undercut on me real quick?
You guys get your questions in now.
That was actually really good, man. That was actually really good. And I know if they don't have a question, like some of these guys, they definitely did take notes on that.
H3 has a question. He said, Kabir, is it a problem for someone to upsell a first-time client on your first service with them?
No, it's not, as long as it's something that they want and need. It's only bad when you're fucking selling shit to people that they don't want or need, because the rule of thumb is this in sales and in business and in life, in my opinion. There's nothing worse than a bad deal, meaning someone who doesn't want something, you push them to get it, they're the worst fucking people to deal with. So if they wanted it and you've talked to them and you've qualified them and they're like, yeah, my car is fucked up, it got scratched, I've been putting it through that piece of shit, car wash, the automatic thing, and it irritates me. And you say, hey, listen, I know you're only asking for the basic $29.99 service and you want to get like some of this clay stuff put on there for extra 10. I could do that for you, no problem. But based on what you just told me, I really think that you could benefit from our $300 package. And you're gonna think, look, I'm gonna call the objection out while I'm doing this. You're gonna think that I'm trying to grab your money, trying to grab as much as I can, trying to upsell you, and you only want this $30 thing. I just want to remind you, you could definitely do it. But the reason I would strongly recommend this is because you said you've been using this different type of thing that fucks your car up, and you've been using these towels and it's been really irritating you, and you just got this new date with this new girl and you're really trying to impress her and she's super into cars and how clean they are. Bro, the $30 one, it will do kind of good, but if she's really into cars like that, she's going to be able to tell. So I would recommend the $300 one only for that reason, based on what you just told me right now, because it's going to be what you actually want. And it's going to be the result that you're looking for. But that does not mean you're not allowed to come in here for the $30 service. Now, do you want me to give you a little bit more information about that? Or is that $300 thing going to be a complete waste of your time and we should just throw that thing in the trash and never talk about it ever again and just stick with this $30 program? No, hold on. Wait, you don't have to throw it in the trash and get rid of it. And it's not a waste of my time. I got 5 minutes to talk about it right now. It's not garbage. What all extra stuff does a $300 thing have in it? Right? You guys see what I'm going with that?
Right.
What if price is an issue and you can't go, what is it? What if price is an issue and you can't go cheaper, but the client is interested? What if price is an issue, but the customer is interested? You just say that. You just tell them, right? It seems like price is an issue. You really want to get this done. Talk to me, H3. What exactly is stopping you from making that decision? And where is the value not clear? What part about the $300 service is not worth the $300? Well, bro, it's not that. It's just, I want it. I'm interested. I really want it, but I don't think it's worth 300. It's like, hey, everyone else is charging 250, 500. I mean, that's the market rate. What do you want me to do? We go hit another nuclear bomb. Oh shit, I shouldn't be saying that on Zoom. Nowadays, you never really know, flag my account or some shit, man, with everything that's going. We'll call it another sniper shot, all right? If people are putting you in a tough spot, like what is happening to you, H3, this is what you do to them. You make them feel fucking stupid by asking them this question. And you do it real nice. You say, so you want the upgraded service. You want all the bells and whistles. You want my guys to spend 4.5 hours and you want it for $30. How am I supposed to do that? Boom!
Got him.
Right? How am I supposed to do that is how you end it after you make them realize. See, people aren't thinking when they're talking. So when you repeat back to how silly of a question that they're asking, you do it in a nice, calm way, and you end it with, how am I supposed to do that? It's when you use that phrase, what happens in the brain is the other person instantly has to put themselves in your shoes, and then they have to try to make sense of that. And then they would say, fuck, man, like that is kind of crazy. Like 4 hours of time for $30, like people in Mexico selling chiclets on the street are making more than that in 4.5. I'm trying to get the $300 service for you get where I'm coming from? So you end it with, how am I supposed to do that? Was that a good one, H3? Did that answer your question?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You know, and you guys
And-
could put it even a bigger spin on that. You guys could even say like, I'm going to be spending about, 4 or 5 hours on your car, and, based off of our reviews and based off what you heard, or, we, even if they haven't seen it, be like, based off our reviews and based off what our customers say, we're going to be taking your car's going to be in the best hands possible. You know what I mean? For the next 3 to 4 hours, like we're going to be investing that time in your car, and, you're going to be getting the best service around.
I love you, Steven. I wouldn't say that. I'll tell you why. And I love you, bro. Love you, man. And this is all philosophy, right? Because if you're convincing, you're losing.
No, I'm saying like you're trying to like, he's trying to basically like the person's trying to
sell the
justify
value.
the price.
You're going, if the person's putting you in a tough spot, you ask them the question back to themselves and make them think about how stupid.
I think it's subjective too, because then it's like, if you're trying to, because some of these guys aren't charging the market rate, bro. Some of these guys aren't even charging near the market rate. Some of these detailers are charging fucking peanuts, and some of the guys
some of the guys in this group, their prices are not competitive with the market. You mean like they're charging way less?
No. I'm saying there's detailers out there that are charging way less, and some of our detailers are way better than them.
Then that's what I would say. I would tell people that. I would say, you know what, man? Let me tell you something. If you go on Google right now, you're going to find about 8 or 9 other people who are going to tell you that they're going to do everything the same, and they're going to do it for about 50% of the cost, and they're going to tell you that they're going to do it faster. But let me tell you something. That's definitely available. They use cheaper this, they use cheaper that, and they don't have as many good reviews. And, you could definitely go to them, but I just got this question for you. Out of all those people that you already know about, what kind of was the main motivation for you getting on call with me today? They already know there's cheap shit out there. Why are they calling you? So you get them, you use that why on them. Why are you already know the cheap shit's out there. You've already done your research. Why are you talking to me right now? You know my 100%. Price is higher. Then they're gonna sell themselves and say, well, I heard you guys do a better job. I heard you guys spend a lot more time. I heard you guys do better materials. I heard you guys have more reputation. You say, okay, then what's stopping you from signing up for the premium price when all the things what you just said right now are available?
Right.
They did the selling for you. You know what I mean? I'm not telling them any of that shit.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. I just wanted that to be clear, because some of these guys are charging, and more power to them, bro. You know what I mean? If your price is justified for what you're offering, then fuck it, charge what you want. But know how to close that client at the end of the day, and know that if you're going to be charging more than the market, you got to be going after your ideal client. You know what I mean? Like Eric, all he gets is fucking people who want wraps, ceramic coatings, tin jobs, vinyl wraps, PPF clear bra. But he's molded his Instagram, his Yelp, his Google to attract those clients. You know what I mean, guys? So if you guys are getting people who fucking, if your Instagram and Yelp look like somebody, is going to attract customers that want $100 washes, don't be fucking surprised that that's all they're going to want to pay. But H3, you got a question, brother?
Yeah. Just for your name is Khabib, right?
Khabib, man, the #1 fighter in the world. That's me, bro.
Yes, sir.
No, it's
yes,
Khabib.
Sir.
Like, come here.
It's like,
let's get a
it's
beer.
Like beer with a K-A.
Khabib.
K-A beer.
Yeah, Khabib.
Okay. Khabib, sorry. But
or you can call me what the Mexicans call me, Javier. You know, they're like, Kabir. I'm
Javier.
like, nah, it's Javier, man. I was like, okay, I'll run with it. I'll run with it, dog.
So-
Let's go.
what will it take for me to book you in for a wash? Like, say I met you, and I saw you somewhere, and I'm like, damn, I follow him on Instagram. What would it take for me to book you in and have you as my client for a wash?
Well, it's funny, right? I'm a sales guy, I do all this extra stuff, and there's different personality types. I'm an action guy when it comes to buying. So all you would have to do with the action personality type is move the conversation quickly along, because I'm not the kind of person to fuck around. I'll give you an example. I went to a car dealership to buy a Range Rover. I saw an SL convertible sitting there. I happened to go test drive it. I didn't even want to buy it. It wasn't even on my radar. I left home with that same day because the guy sped me through the conversation. I was like, I like that shit. So I'm not the, I'm an action guy when it comes to buying. All you would have to do is pick up and realize, okay, this guy is like motivated. He's like pumped up. He wants to do something today. And then those kind of people where salespeople fuck up with people like me is they'll start asking me too many questions. They should be able to tell, oh, this guy's ready to go. He wants to buy something. And they say, hey, it seems like this, this SL, you can't leave home without it. Let's maybe get you started with some paperwork. I'll be like, yeah, man, let's do it. Because you can tell how I'm behaving and you're calling me out on it. Otherwise, you're going into that scripting, right? Hey, so what about the SL do you like the most? It's like, oh, I like the convertible. And it's like, oh, okay, well, are there specific features? I don't know any of the fucking features. I'm not a car guy. I don't know how to do an oil change. That's embarrassing to some guys out there. I got a lot of friends, all right, that are super car guys. They got like Ferrari, they got all of that shit, right? And they're like, hey, bro, I took the extension off and I put it into the receptor, and then I don't even know the fucking name. I don't even know the words. And then I'll get in the car. They're all in car clubs and they're super into the cars, right? And I'm like, yeah, mine's right there, bro. I click the button to start, So when it comes to like personality types, I was talking earlier about the analytical personality type. They're quiet, they're short. It's hard to close them because they're just not talking a lot, right? Those people, you have to make accusations with them. People who are action, that's one of the personality types. Those guys, you guys know who I'm talking about. Some of those people come in there and they're like, hey, so what's that right there? And you're like, oh, that's this. They're like, oh shit, let me get one of those. And what is that thing right there? Those people are ready to go. And the only way to stop them is to waste their time because they're ready to do stuff. So when you start wasting their time, they get agitated and they leave. Or they don't buy as much stuff as they could have wanted to buy, right? So I'm an A type when it comes to buying. When it comes to selling, I'm an amoeba. I'm oblivion. I'm the Rubik's Cube, man. I'm over here doing, different moves and stuff. But when it comes to me, if you wanted to sell me, the thing is I'm already ready to buy when I show up places. I don't really window shop. So if I'm at a car wash spot, I'm buying. And I'm not going to shop. I'm not going to do research. I'm just going to say, shit, I need a car wash, right? So when I get my car wash, I just moved over here, so I don't have like a main car wash person yet. But I found one over there in Irvine, where I'm from, where I was over there recently. I used to live there. And I just went on my phone. I said, car wash. I probably spent maybe like 10 minutes. I clicked one that was really close to me. I called the guy and he's like, yeah, I'm right here. I was like, hey, can I get a car wash today? And he was like, oh, I'm pretty tight. Can you come in tomorrow or the day after? I'm like, maybe, I didn't go to that guy because I needed it right now. So I'm an A type. The guy that I talked to, I think it was the third guy that I called on the phone. I was like, can I get a car wash? He was like, yeah, you can. You know what? I can get you squeezed in. It's just going to take a little bit longer. Why don't you come drop your car off right now and I'll tell you when it's done. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm coming right now. I drove over there, dropped the thing off, and he still took fucking 6 hours. But he converted me immediately. If he didn't do that, I would have gone to someone else. So that's how you convert someone like me. But you have to be able to analyze. Did that answer your question?
Yeah. Do you like taking your car to go get a wash instead of getting it mobile?
So I'm gonna start what you just brought up right now. I'm gonna start taking it mobile because at my office, I got an office down here, There's these guys. They have 2 fucking little van things. And one day, like, I need a car wash. I saw them right there when I was leaving my office. And I drove by them. I stopped the car. I said, you guys do car washes? They said, yes, we do. And I said, give me your card. And they said, here it is. I'm going to go use them. I'm not doing any more research. Now that you bring it up, it's called like, I forgot what their names are, but I got their card and that's it. It's done. I'm probably going to use them forever. I probably will never like explore other people. That's just kind of how I am.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I wanted to see, like listening to you and trying out the no. And I try to ask the question of like, do you like taking it to go get a wash? Like you could save so much time if I would just show up and try to do something like that. But,
yeah, I'm an easy sale. For me, as long as you're working with me, you're talking to me, and you're doing something like that, like, hey man, I know you want to come in today. We can't come in today, but you know, you think it'd be crazy if I sent someone out to you tomorrow morning, first thing, like we'll get you everything set up, good to go. I'd be like, dude, I need it today, but all right, let me just commit to it right now. Because I'm an A-type, you're closing the sale on me fast. And I'm like, all right, whatever, I'm ready to commit to it. I need to get it done. Let's just get this shit done. I got to move on to something else. So that's how you would close me personally. And there are a lot, I'd say there's 25% of the people that are like that when they're ready to buy. They're A-type. And if you guys want to know something about an A-type, they are doing a lot of talking. They want things done quickly. They want it done now, immediate, da-da-da-da-da. And the more time that you're talking, you're wasting their time and they're getting impatient to go do something else, right? The analytical person is the one who wants to know everything. So when you guys say you do the engine clean, you know, what kind of parts of the engine do you guys do Mazdas and you guys do Rolls Royces, or do you guys only do Mazdas? Oh, you guys do okay. Now, what if I brought in one Jeep and I brought in a Camry? Can you guys do both of them, or can you guys? They talk slow and they want to know everything.
These are like Tesla owners, guys, like engineers, Tesla owners. These are like fucking little fucking keyboard warriors. The Tesla owners, guys. The Tesla owners are gonna ask. Would you say the Tesla owners ask way more questions than anybody, Eric?
Yeah, bro. They ask a lot of questions. How would you be? Can you give examples on like how would you close them?
Yeah, so I make observations immediately, which is number one, they're going to ask you all these questions. I would say it seems like you have a lot of questions. It seems like you're very detail oriented. You have very specific things that you're looking for. And I'm really happy that you know exactly what you're looking for. Do you mind writing those things down for me, or getting that list of everything that you would need for a 10 out of 10, a 12 out of 10 experience if you came in to get a wash? And they'll tell you those main things right away. Instead of fucking sitting there going through a 1-hour conversation. Oh, what about that? What about this? What about that? What about this? Those guys will typically ask you 100 questions, and then they'll say, okay, I'm gonna think about it. Or let me wait a little bit. Well, you know, if you could do this and that, maybe I'll do it. So what you want to do is, if they start giving you that kind of shit, you say, awesome, man. Let me tell you what, if I can get this, and this done for you, and I can get all of these different things serviced for you, would you be willing to go ahead and move forward and getting this thing done? Or is this totally against what you're looking to do? Because if you don't close them and you don't wrap up their questions, they're going to keep hitting you with more questions. And the worst thing about those fuckers, all right, those are my cousins, by the way. Those are my people, right? The worst thing about them, actually, it's not just my people. I'm being funny, right?
The Asians, bro. The Asians ask a million fucking questions.
Yeah, the worst thing about those
you
people,
know what? That's good that you're mentioning this, because it's probably a question that I would have had, but I wouldn't have thought of, man. So just you saying it right now, I'm taking notes of this right now, man, as you speak. And then I know a lot of these guys, you guys should take notes on this, man, because this is going to be key details on how to close a customer like that. Because a lot of people, realistically, they do have a lot of questions. You don't get too many. What were you calling them right now? Like what you were saying, that you're
I'm an action oriented. Yeah, I'm an A type.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people like that, man.
Yeah.
In my area, mostly 90% of the people that come in here, they ask a lot of questions, and
5% are action.
Yes, And these are realistically some of the people that are willing to spend more money, the ones that have all kinds of questions, man. So the faster you can wrap it up, the easier it just solves everything for you to close it, man. But
the
yeah,
thing with those guys, that you have to be careful about when you're answering their questions is typically the longer the conversation is with them, the more questions start popping up that they didn't even have initially. That's the worst.
That's me, bro.
And then you say, yeah, man, we could do the tire, we could do this, and we could do that. And that's where you fuck up. And not only do that, we do this. And then they're like, oh shit, you do this, and this. Well, now if you do this, and this, do you also do it like that and like this? And you're like, yeah, we do it like that and like this. And if you wanted to, we can go ahead and do it like that. And they're like, you could do it like that, this, and this. Now you're fucked, man. You're done. You're done, bro. I like to wrap those.
That's 90% of my clients that come in here. Yeah.
So I wrap those guys up. I'll let them ask a few questions, and then I call them out. And then also with those guys. So, by the way, that is my highest level of experience dealing with people like that, because I was in the financial market selling. So these are probably like your clients. The people who are very intellectually. They're there, right? They're smart. They got degrees. They got fucking money coming in. They have they have like financial degrees, shit like that, right? Those guys are fucking assholes with questions. So number one, I'll ask them a lot. I'll answer their questions. Those guys also need to be pushed. All right. So I talk about not pushing people, letting them in control. Once you get all their questions answered, a lot of those guys, you actually do have to push them. You have to say, hey, man, listen. It seems like you asked me about 100 questions. I answered all of them. And this is exactly what you're looking for. What's stopping you from saying yes right now and getting it done? And they'll say, well, I just want to make sure I'm making the right decision. And you say, great. What exactly would be a bad decision? What do you need to hear? What kind of things would you want to see for you to say, man, I got to do this. This is exactly what I'm looking for. You want to get them to get nitty and gritty, and they'll tell you specifically exactly what they're looking for. And then once they have that down, before you go into the answering of that or how much it costs, you say, okay, cool. So you said A, B, Z, and D are the biggest things you're looking for, and that's a A+ service for you? And they'll say, yeah, it is. They say, is there anything else that we're leaving out? Did I misinterpret you? No, you didn't. You got the no, made them feel secure and say, awesome. So you're telling me if we could do all these things and we could do it at this price, that'd be something you'd be willing to say yes right now to and commit to? Yeah, I'd be willing to do that. Be like, cool, let me go ahead and find this out right now. You find it out, give them a call, close the deal. Otherwise, I agree with you. They're just going to keep asking more and more questions.
You could say a lot of this is like manipulation, right? On the words,
no.
On the words they choose to say, or no?
Well, you know what? So everyone has a different interpretation of specific words. So, the word manipulation to me, it has a negative connotation, right? It's like, man, this guy's a manipulator, which is like bad, right? So manipulation to me is when you're getting someone to do something they don't want to do, and that's not in their best interest, right? Influence and helping someone pick the right thing is more so what this is about. And I'm sure that's what you do, because you're sitting there, you're the car expert. By the way, that's why I'm an action guy, is I find an expert. I'm not a car expert, and I'm smart enough to know what I don't know and what I do know, right? So if I go to someone's shop and I see like, all right, 13 years I've been here, I see all this shit going off, I see my car sitting right there, and someone else is you guys have done a crazy job cleaning it. I don't know shit about shit. So I'm never going to be someone who's like, hey, man, I know better than these guys. I need to investigate. It's like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck am I? I don't know shit about cars. So I look at the expert and I'm going, these guys look like they know what they're doing. I like talking to this guy. He's getting down to the point. He's letting me know what it is. I'm going to take a shot with these guys. Let's get it done right now, because I don't know anything. So I'm pretty realistic with what I know and what I don't know. But there's a lot of people who pretend like that. I've been Googling, I've been reading Reddit, and I heard that if you use the micro towel on the Tesla S, it might scratch a certain surface and it could
Yeah.
potentially disrupt the camera when the new algorithm kicks in for the software, and you're like, get the fuck out of my store, bro. You're like, leave.
So how do you influence the customer like that? Because I get customers like that all the time, that they think they know it all, and then once you try to give them the right information, what you say now doesn't matter to them because they already did their own research.
Yeah, you say that to them. You be professional. You tell them all the right answers. You go through it with them professionally, and when they keep giving you that kickback, you call them out, bro. You say, "Hey, listen, man. It seems like you've already done your research. It seems like you know this way better than I do. It seems like you have a much better understanding. You're making them feel stupid. It seems like you really know how to do this a lot better than I do. And all the different things that I've talked to you about, they are good, but they're not good enough because there's still more things that you know that I don't know. So, I mean, it seems like it doesn't matter what I tell you.
And these are the customers that usually become a headache. Sometimes I don't even like to deal with them because just the energy they bring towards you, you know? And it's to my point, like, I don't think every customer is going to be your customer. You know, some people are just better off spending their money somewhere else because at the end of the day, it could become a little bit more of a headache if you do take on that customer.
There's nothing worse than a bad deal. That's exactly what you just said now.
Yeah. So that right there, I think it's a bad deal, man. When a customer tries to do, hey, I saw this is applied like this and this is applied like that, bro. I learned my lesson maybe like 2 years ago. I don't deal with them no more. Like I just tell them, like, look, I'm sorry, but like you're asking for way too much. Like your expectations, like whatever I tell you, you already want to do this, even though I'm telling you this, like just go somewhere else, man. Like I've had a lot of bad experiences.
So the 2 millimeter shift.
I'm at that level where I can say, right? I'm at that level where I can say no to customers already, where I don't need that business.
No, I love that. What you're
I'll
saying
focus on the next one.
What you're saying is smart because you're moving on to the next one. You're getting rid of the stuff that you don't want to waste time on, and you're telling people what's up. What I would say is this, because you're already killing it, obviously, and you already know what you're doing. The 2 millimeter shift is instead of telling people, hey, it seems like you already know what you're doing, no matter what I said, you want to just drop it and make them feel stupid, and you want to use these specific words, which is it's an observation, right? So people don't feel attacked. Yeah. 9 out of 10 times they'll come back and they'll be like, I am being stupid. That's how you get the analytical person. It seems like everything I'm telling you is just, it's not good enough. And it seems like you've asked me a lot of questions. I've answered them, but you have a lot more questions and you have opposing ideas and views that are more accurate than mine. So it doesn't seem like it's going to be possible for us to do business because what I'm telling you is just not good enough. And when you're genuine, you're calm, and you make questions like that, and when they say something like, they can't say, why are you calling me out? No, I'm not like that. Blah, blah, blah. You're like, hey,
that's something I definitely need to, that's something I'm definitely going to apply now because right now I feel like I do say that because they piss me off sometimes. Yep. And I give a direct accusation, like, bro, like this is you, you know? So now I need to say it in a more friendly manner, you know? So that way they don't take it as you know, as, oh, I fucked up by asking this question, you know?
Yep. Because they'll feel
like,
bad.
Why, you know? Like how you were saying that, why? Yeah.
They'll feel bad because they'll say, man, this guy's trying to help me out. This guy's the expert. I am asking a ton of questions. This guy worked with me. He's doing his best. And now I just keep fucking irritating him. And he's still being cool with me. And he's telling me, I've tried everything, man. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm sorry, I'm just not good enough. Like, and then that's when they realize, like, I'm fucking being stupid. The reason people do that stuff, by the way, most people aren't thinking about what they're talking about. They're just talking. So when you get them to listen back to what they're saying, it allows them to think for a little bit and say, I'm being stupid. So yeah, man, you're already killing it. I mean, this is just extra for you, man. What else? Or is that good? Are we concluding this call?
I got one question for you, brother.
What's up, Batman?
So you talking about personality types of buyers. You went over the analytical and the action minded. What other types would you say that there are, and what are
friendly?
the signs
There's
of them?
three.
Three?
Yeah, there's three. There's friendly, and the accommodator, the friendly one, the social one is the one that gets most of the deals, and it's the one that I'll give you a perfect example, right? So I'm like this. When I'm doing sales, this is my natural sales. This isn't me trying to be someone. This is actually who I am as a person. When you're talking to someone, a classic example of a friendly social personality type is someone who you talk to for like 30 fucking minutes, an hour. You talk nothing about the deal. And then the end of the day, like so much time goes by, you're like, oh shit, man, this guy's dope as hell. We talked about all this shit. I don't know why the hell I told him about my sister or my aunt. Like, this guy is dope. Hey, by the way, did you want to get that thing done? It's like, yeah, let's get it done. That's the classic social. So that's one personality type. And those people make the most deals is because they're just friendly. And people like doing business with people who they like or who they want to be like, right? So those typically do the most sales. The second personality type is analytical. They're calculated, methodical. It's the person who's detail-oriented. It's Eric's customers that are coming in there. Those are the highly analytical people, right? And then there's the action-oriented people. And the communication language for all of these people, if you want to know, the action person, time is money. Like, get to the point now. Stop wasting my time. They like to talk a lot, dominate the conversation, and they want to get to the point. They want to control it. So with them, the best technique to use against them, kind of like judo, kind of like jujitsu, is you let them blabber a lot like I'm doing right now. And when they're done, you hit them with the 2 to 3 main things they said. Oh, your car is awesome and you want it done quick. You just keep doing that. They'll talk more and more and more. They close themselves. So you don't want to butt heads with those people, right? Typically, you want to beef up with those people because it's like, man, this guy's dominating me. He's talking over me. Why is he trying to control me? That's the worst thing to do with those people. Let them talk all day long. Once they get done talking, they love hearing themselves talk. And then that makes them feel good and think that you're listening to them. And it makes them feel good. And they're like, I like this guy. No, they just like themselves because you let them talk a lot. That's the action guy or girl. The second one, the one in the middle, analytical. Like I told you, very quiet, very reserved, very technical, very detail-oriented, don't like to talk a lot. And with those people, the secret technique, you don't want to use mirrors because they'll just respond back to you. They'll say, oh, yeah, well I wanted to know about, the camera on my Tesla. And if you hit it with the towel that's not microfiber with the 300 count thread, is it still going to damage the interior integration of the software when it goes to an update? You're just like, what? Like, what? We're talking like, bro, we're talking about water here. We're talking about water here, bro. So with those people, if you repeat back to them, like, oh, is the towel going to mess with the camera on the Tesla? They're going to say, yeah. Does it mess with it? They'll give you that short answer again. So you can't get them with that repeating thing. With them, you have to hit them with those observations, which is, man, it seems like you've really done your research and you know exactly what you're looking for. And that camera is really important to you and making sure that, the type of towels that we use are not going to damage your camera. They're going to say, yeah, I love that camera. And, it sounds crazy, Steven, but out of this whole entire Tesla car that I have, the cameras are my most valuable. I love them because I'm really scared about someone breaking into my car. And if they do that, because I have this high-end computer and the computer's got all my algorithms and shit, at least I have the videotape of that person and I can track them. And you're like, okay, sounds awesome. I'll make sure I use a specific type of towel for you. Let's go ahead and get you started, right? Analytical. Then you got the social person. The social person, they just want to be friends. They want to make sure everything is good. When the conversation starts going bad and someone's angry, someone's upset, someone's not happy, this is the kind of person who's like, hey, I'll give you a discount. Hey, what happened? Oh, I don't like that happened. So those are the 3 personality types.
Well, thank you. That answers my question really well. Because now, I have everything, tools to be able to identify the different personality types and how to deal with each type of person. Because, I honestly didn't know that at all. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Go get that cash, baby. Credit or debit? You gonna do credit today or debit today? Amex, Discover, Visa, we accept everything. You ready to go?
Yep.
I guess maybe that's what we'll end the conversation with, unless you guys got other questions. When someone is ready to make a purchase and they've said yes, you need to be able to take their money within seconds. You guys ever get a deal closed and you get excited and then you've delayed collecting the payment, and then the person has said, actually, man, I don't know if I can come in today. I'll probably come in maybe like Thursday or Friday this week, and you're basically losing that sale, or then those people don't call you back again. And you're like, fuck, dude, that guy, he wanted that expensive shit right there. I should have just took his money. So if you have the opportunity to take someone's money immediately, do it immediately when they've said yes, because the more time you give them, they're going to start hitting you with those fucking questions that Eric's customers got. Actually, I had one last question about the way that the tires spin after you hit it with the towel and you guys put the foam on there. Man, fuck, man. I thought we already went over the way the tires spin. Are we good, guys? You got some value?
Yeah.
Crazy amount of value today, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I really appreciate it, man. Everything you said was on point, man. And I know I'm gonna take some of the stuff, and use it to my business. But definitely thankful for having you, man, as a guest speaker.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for those kind words, Eric.
Yeah,
Steve,
man. Thank you for coming through, Kabir. Thank you for coming through, man. I know a lot of these guys, they're probably gonna go back and listen to the call. This is probably one of those calls that you're gonna have to go back and listen to more than twice, just to get everything down. I see a couple people nodding their head. They're like, "Yeah, for sure."
I know. I'm gonna ask Steven for your number now, Kabir. So I'm gonna be hitting you up, like, "Hey, what's up?"
Word.
Yeah, how much are your rates to bring me to the business?
Hey, Kabir, can you share your Instagram in the chat for us?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
follow
sure.
that.
You guys follow Kabir, man, on Instagram.
Want to, sure.
He puts up value here and there. He's not as active as he used to be, but I know Kabir has some big things in the works, guys. So follow this guy's journey, man. This guy's done some big things, but he has even bigger things coming up.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So appreciate you guys hopping on. I appreciate you guys being active, engaging with me, asking questions. I'm glad that I got some positive feedback from you guys, and shout out to Eric and Steven for throwing on a dope ass mastermind call and bringing me on here and creating a great community. It looks like that you guys got, and I wish all of you guys the greatest success, and hope you guys have a blessed rest of your night. Checking out.
Wait, before we go, for Lizzie, I do videography, and then I also help other people promote their Instagram and then their business, and as well as lifestyle too. So if there's anything I could offer for you, like I could do videos and then come up with solutions of just get people's attention on social media. But I'll go ahead and send you a message on there if you ever need me. For sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Good looking. I appreciate that big time.
All right,
I'll chat with you.
Have a great night.
All right, you guys too, man. Thank you again. All right.
Have a great night, brother. Thank you.
All right. Batman out.
All right, guys. So I hope you guys got a lot of value, man. That was our guest speaker, Kabir, good friend of mine. But yeah, guys, if you guys are gonna level up your business, you guys are gonna need to know these kind of sales, strategies, man. Kabir, he's more of a analytical guy. I have another guest speaker in mind. We might have him come next week, and he's a sales expert as well. A little different than Kabir. Kabir is more of the I don't know if you guys noticed, but Kabir is more of like the hey Eric, you wanna stop the recording?
Yeah, I'll stop right now. Give me a second.